Stop, dude. You are live. It says I am live today. I'm going to give you an update on my breast cancer journey. Everybody's journey is totally different. I got to go to chemo this morning, but it's not until later on this morning, and I wanted to give an update because my sister is coming to pick up my mom's dog. Like I told you, everybody's journey is not the same. I was thinking about it, and I wanted to give you some. I had to go to the plastic surgeon yesterday, and she was talking about, um, after do have the surgery to have the breast removed, about the possibility of doing a reduction. And I'm going to be honest with you. I was thinking to myself, I did not know the extent to which you have to go through. And she was talking about, do you drive? What kind of job do you do? And I'm like, well, I'm pretty much independent agent. I can work from home. I can do stuff. I do drive. I can drive. I have driven. And she began to tell me about I would have to be not driving for 4 to 6 weeks, possibly. And that's not even including the first surgery that would remove the breast. But if I do the plastic surgery, then I'd have to wait in between, and then I would have to do another 4 weeks. And the other thing I would not be able to do is I would not be able to take my dog Zoe for a walk. Even that you cannot have any lifting of anything over 5 pounds. And, I do, like I told you, my journey is a little bit different than some other people. A built in network because I had two aunts, had two aunts that have had breast cancer. They don't currently, they've been, 20 years cancer free. Um, my one aunt has passed away, and that's the one that I told you about that had that I told you about her story and stuff. As far as what I wanted to read online, you can go back and watch that. But the other is an aunt that I currently have. She's still alive. She's still doing really well, and because you know of circumstances, I have people in my family that have done different things, that have had the breast reconstruction, that have done stuff like that, that have the breast reconstruction, that have had, the double mastectomy, and then the other one didn't have but the one breast taken off. But I can tell you that this is something that let me just say this about breast cancer. Breast cancer attacks women's femininity, the feminine side of your life. First of all, you lose your hair, and then you lose your breast. And of course, you can have the reconstruction surgery, and of course, you can have it at a later time. I'm thinking to myself, she was going through all the stuff, and she was talking about, well, you have to have the radiation too, and it could affect how the breast, how which type of situation that you have. Some people have the inserts put in, just simple inserts, and they're there. And then she was talking about another surgery that they have now, that they can take possibly from your stomach fat and stuff, because breast is basically, and it has, I guess, the tissue or whatever, who knows, I'm not exactly sure, but they can take it from your belly and move it up to your breast and give you the give you what you have. And I mean, then there's the whole thing of having, okay, how big do you want your breast to be? And I said, personally, I don't, the breasts are not, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I want to look like I always look. And um, big breast was not who I was. So, but these are things that you have to think about. And and she said, "Well, I know." And I'm thinking to myself, "This is August, and I'm not even going to be through with chemotherapy, according to my doctor, until December, even though I'm halfway through the first treatment of chemo. Today will be the halfway point, and I'm excited about that. I've done very well. Uh, it's things to think about, more things to think about. And in the middle of this, beginning and end, my mom has been in a assisted living and she's going through a health situation. And I've had her dog. His name's Corky. And thank God my sister is going to go ahead and take him. He's not been too much trouble, and I've tried to do as much as I can to help my sister because there's she and I are doing all the whatever, and I try to give her any kind of support that I can because she's the one taking the brunt of the responsibility with my mom, and she comes and helps me as well. So I really do appreciate everything that she does for me and for my mom. And it seems like, I'm just getting with the chemo as you go on and you progress, it does sometimes get a lot harder. And I tell you, I had one of those days this past, I think it was Tuesday is when it was. Yesterday was a really good day. Tuesday was, I couldn't get out of bed. I could not get out of bed. And and Tim said, he said, "Man, you look peaked. You look really, I mean, I'm always white, but I guess I looked really white." He said, "Peaked." I don't know if you say that anywhere, if you say that in the north or in up north or not, but in the south we said, "You look peaked. You look like you're sick." And I could not. I mean, I just couldn't get out of bed. And you learn to do what you can do, and then other days you take it easy and do what you rest, and you save up on your energy. Um, like I said before this morning, that I'm telling you, the having chemo is something that you, unless you go through it, you'll and it affects everybody differently. It affects you differently, so you have to learn what you can and cannot do. But when she was telling me, the plastic surgeon was telling me, okay, it's August and I'm not going to be through and not even going to have the other surgery until later on, this year. I'm thinking to myself, oh no. 4 to 6 weeks of not doing anything, not being able to lift anything, not being able to drive, not being able, I mean, that's going to be an experience that I'm not looking forward to. You're not supposed to drive when you have that type of surgery. And so I just am thinking, and then I would have to have it twice. And then there's the whole, she was talking about drainage um, from the surgery, and I'm thinking, "Oh no, this is awful. This is terrible. It's terrible." And I just these are more things that I have to think about, and I'm thinking, once I'm that close to being free from cancer, do I really want to have to go through surgery of breast reconstruction surgery? Do I really want to have to go through it? Because I could opt to not do anything and just have a prosthetic, bra is basically what it would be, a bra that you would put on. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So I am praying for wisdom and praying for God to show me what I need to do, because then I don't want to be stuck with not having, because that is a part of being a woman, is your that's who makes you who you are. And I can't. It's something that is an emotional thing that I will have to deal with, and not sure what I'm going to do. I'm not sure, and I just wanted to give you the update because when I had to think about that, it began to make me wonder. Okay, I, do I want to? And one of the surgeries, if I picked the one particular surgery, it was going to be an 8-hour surgery, and I'm thinking to myself, oh dear God, that's a long surgery. That's a long, long surgery. And uh, you've already been through the chemo, you've already been through the cancer. Do you want to subject yourself to another long surgery? And just with the option of, hey, this could happen. And, if I did went with the just the other the first one that's not as long as far as that's concerned, it just adds to it. It adds to the surgery each side if I decide to do the reconstructive breast surgery. And it's something that, I'm not sure. I'm kind of at an age where I'm not old. My aunts were both in their late 60s when they had it, and so it was a little bit easier for them to make that decision. Um, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I feel. Uh, I really, I'm totally not sure. And go ahead and put in the comments. Put in the comments. My nephew, he said, "Oh, Aunt Michelle just," he was he was kind of crass. He was trying to deal with the best he could. He basically said, "Aunt Michelle, you'll have surgery, you'll have it taken off, you'll have some new breasts put on, you can have some double D's." And I said, "Caleb, I'm not having double D's, son. I am not having double D's. That definitely is not going to happen." But he's thinking like a young man thinks. He's thinking like a young man, and he made me laugh because that's who Caleb is. He's he's a funny kid. But I'm not going to have, whether I do or do not have the reconstruction surgery. Um, I will absolutely not have the double D's, but I will. I'm trying to decide. Um, a Another person in the family said, she was faced with. She didn't go through cancer, but she had the gene that had it, and she was faced with, okay, do I have my breast taken off and go through this or not? And she, it's those are things that you have to decide, especially when you've seen your mom go through something like that. It makes it, you see things and you think, I don't want to have to go through this. And I had this, I don't know if I had been faced with knowing that I did have the BRCA gene and I did have some, uh, if I had known beforehand, I think back and I think, would I have been willing to go uh, and have my breast removed before the cancer, knowing that possibly I would have cancer and that I would possibly, have to go through chemo? I think it would make a difference. It would absolutely make a difference if you actually saw someone very close to you go through chemotherapy and see the struggle that they had to go through and see how much time it took and how much, this is not an easy disease to go through. You can absolutely go through it, but it is not easy to totally change your life and do that. And these are big decisions that people have to make because they have come out with the detection of, okay, you do have this gene, you do have this possibility. And if you do have any, possibility of having it, and you would want to make that decision before you had cancer. I mean, that would be the optimal time to do it and to think about it. Um, because I can tell you 4 to 6 weeks of not being able to drive is a whole lot better than 12 weeks of chemotherapy, and then, let's say 3 to 6 months of chemotherapy, and hopefully that the chemo is doing its job. And, at this point, I can tell that the chemo is working. It seems to be reducing the size of the tumor. I can feel the difference. Uh, and I'm thankful to God for that, that the chemo is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Um, but there's always other things that people are going through in the middle of their journey. Like I said, my mom is in a situation where she is having a hard time, where she has a physical, in a bit, her health is not in a good situation. She is in a trying time at this time. And right in the middle of this trying time with my mom, I have cancer and I can't help my sister. And it's hard. It's hard to know that you can't do certain things. It's hard knowing that you don't have the energy to deal with certain things. There's just some things that you just can't deal with. And I did want to show you Corky because he'll probably start his. He's not in good health either, but I've kept this dude, and he's going back with my sister today. And I wanted to show you little Corky man one more time. He's probably going to start coughing and stuff. That's what he does. He coughs because he's not doing good himself. But I wanted my mom to be able to see him and be with him for a while at least, because I don't know how long Corky's going to be going. But little dude, we have fallen in love with him, even though he's irritating as can be. he does he does stuff that irritates Tim and I. Tim, as he was going off to work today, he told Corky, "Corky, I'll see you, buddy," because he loves this dog. This dog he makes you, even though you may not like him, he makes you love him. And it's so funny. He just wants to be loving and wants to make you love him back. So let me show you Corky. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here, little dude.